I won't have any. Skills. I will go over each of these in a minute, but this will give you your skill menu. And quests. Right now we're going to have our basic survival quests. So there's 8 of them. When you complete them, you get some skill points. So you do want to do these so that you can get the skill points and pump them into different things. Journal will basically be, if you forget how to make something, which it's really easy to look up the recipe, or you don't remember something, this is where you're going to want to go to try to get that information. Players, if you're playing with somebody else, it'll pop their name in here. You'll be able to see where they are. If you want to track them, show them on the map, all that fun jazz would be right in here. Now I have an extra one because I did creative mode. So this will give me access to all the blocks that are in the game, and a lot of these you don't even have access to. Keep that in mind. In the creative mode, you do not have access to the same blocks in a survival mode game. So some of these, let's see, what's one that I wouldn't get in real game here? I wouldn't get the spikes that have blood on them. That's not something I can make. The cement blocks, that's not something I can make. There's a lot of things in here that you can't make in game. Furniture you can buy in game though, and I do regularly buy in game. Your bedroll is a very important thing. Your bedroll is where you will spawn to when you die. So when and if you die. So having a bedroll, very essential. While you're crafting your bedroll, keep knocking out some plants, because it's going to have you craft clothes out of plant fibers, and you need a whole bunch for it. So just keep punching the grass as much as you can get. You're going to use a lot of it during your first week. You're going to use a lot of wood, stone, and fibers during your first week. So once you make your bedroll, it'll ask you to place your bedroll. All you got to do is put it in your inventory. If you want to rotate it, you can hit your right trigger button, and if you want to place it, you just hit your left trigger button. And now if I die, this is where I will respawn to. Okay, and then it'll update, and it'll give me another mission here in a minute. Okay, so it's going to tell me to build my axe now. So this is what I said you needed to grab some stone for. So I got 5 stone, I got 2 wood, which I got from that little plant, which was awesome to get. And now I'm going to go into my crafting menu again, go back up to basics, and it will be right here, stone axe. Craft one of those. I would suggest during your first week crafting the stone axe as often as you possibly can, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna want it, and you're gonna want to, the more you craft, the higher your crafting skill gets, so the better the axe will be. And real quick, since I happen to be right here, this area where it's kind of green back there and everything's dead and gross looking, that's the edge of the map. That is irradiated zone. So if you go into it, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get irradiated. See, it dropped my health down 20 points. So avoid that area. If you kill an animal and it ends up stuck there, oh well, you're gonna just have to let it die out there. And just don't go out there. It will kill you. It'll kill you quickly. So now I have to craft some clothes. So if I go up here, I can go to this little t-shirt, which is clothing. It's gonna say plant fiber gloves, hood, pants, shirt, and shoes. So you can make all of those. You can just stay in this menu while those are making. Down here you can see you have 4 queues, and it'll tell you how long it's gonna take to craft each item in the queues. And you could always craft more than things. If you want to see how many you can possibly craft, if you hit this button, it'll show me I can make 7 of these right now. Obviously, if you just want to go up by 1 or down by 1, that would be the way to do it, is by the little arrows. And only if you're playing alone can you do this, but you can open it and actually click how many you want to make that way too. Now it's going to ask you to wear clothes. You can see mine has an X on it. It's because these are characters that I bought through the PlayStation Store, and they have clothes on them, but their clothes are useless. So they don't do anything. These clothes, you'll see, they'll have the base price, the durability that's left in them, puncture, radiation, fire. Insulation is something that's really important. So I'm in the winter biome, which means that my character's going to get cold eventually. She's not cold right now, surprisingly, but eventually she will get cold. So I'll need something with higher insulation. And if you're in like the desert, your character starts getting hot, and your character will tell you when it's cold or hot. You need to see an insulation of negative something for that. It'll also tell you like how you repair it, how long it would burn in a fire, all of those things. It gives you 1 point in tailoring when you make these as well. It's going to ask me to put all these on, and you'll look how ridiculous you'll look. It is what it is. Tire. Okay, so I need to gather some more wood. These little things, go with them. Starting game, try not to go for a tree. If you do go for a tree, go for... Let me find a little dead tree somewhere around here. I'm sure there is one. Here you go. These little trees, pretty quick and easy to take out. They give you 12 wood too, so they're not too shabby as far as how much wood you get from them when you're just starting out as far as what you need to have. So it's going to ask for a wooden club. Now, it is in your basics. Your club is in your basics. It's right here. But you can also go to ammo and weapons, and it'll be right there too. So whichever one you prefer to go into, it doesn't really matter. It's just your preference. I don't really need a club because I don't have the zombies turned on. I'm going to do some running. So we need to find some feathers now. They can be difficult to see in a winter biome because the snow does cover the bird's nest. So usually you will find birds' nests around trees on the ground. That's a rock. It's going to tell you to build the bow first. Don't ever build the bow first. And the reason why I'm saying that is the best way to get a stronger bow is to build the arrows first. You know what I'm going to do? I went into cheat mode. So we're going to go up here. I just randomly picked up some boxes there. I'm going to go to all items real quick. Let me... Where are the feathers? I'm going to type them in here. Okay, 250. There we go. We got some feathers, and you know what? We're also going to grab some wood. It's not what I should have. There we go. We're gonna also grab some stone. Okay. Need that one, and then we're gonna grab, again, for the purpose of this, we're gonna just grab some fibers. Alright, that way I don't have to collect them. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to show you a wooden bow without making any arrows first. Okay, so it takes 4 seconds, and your crafting does get faster the more you craft. Okay, so it gave me a level 2 because I built the club before I built the bow. Okay, so now I'm going to go up here, and that's going to take too long. Let's just build like 15 arrows. That shouldn't take too long. We'll do 15 arrows, and then we'll do another wooden bow. Okay, and we'll see the difference in that. And then it's going to tell you to make some wood frames. They are under basics. They're right here. And you just need to make 3 of them for the purpose of this. So just 1, 2, 3. So see, I built 15 arrows, and it brought my wooden bow up to a level 14. So if you can, run around, gather as many feathers, as much stone as you can before actually building your bow. It will save you in the long run. So we're going to do 3 frames. You place the 3 frames. It's going to tell you to upgrade frames. Now, to destroy, you hit your right trigger, and it'll take things out. To upgrade, you hit your left trigger, and it'll upgrade it. For the purpose of just knocking out the starter stuff, just upgrade it once, but you can upgrade these twice with wood, twice with iron, and then up to cement, steel, polished steel. So you can make them strong. Not the way I would suggest upgrading a base, but I mean, if you're just starting out, it will teach you the mechanics to do it that way. Oh, look, a little piggy. It's going to ask you to build a campfire. You want to craft one of those puppies up. Put it down. Obviously, if you want the campfire to burn... Oh, it's going to say some stuff. If you want the campfire to burn, you got to put something in it to burn. And up here, it'll tell you how long whatever you put in it will burn. Here is the thing about campfires, forges, cement mixers, chemistry stations, workbenches. I think that's it. Those things create what's called a heat map. So the more that they're burning, the more that they're working, the likely they are to bring in what's called a screamer zombie. They are attracted to the heat map, which is why, and you'll see in some of my later videos, that I set up what I call the forge room somewhere away from my base. I will set it up, I will get everything going in there, and it'll create a really, really, really heavy heat map. But as long as you're not in that area, the screamer won't spawn. You have to be within a 16 block radius of the heat map for the screamers to spawn. When a screamer spawns, you'll hear them. They sound very unique. They're not automatically screaming. They kind of make this noise. They look like the girl from The Grudge. If they see you, if you're able to kill them without them seeing you, then they don't scream. But if they see you, they will scream, and all hell will break loose because zombies will start spawning. And with those spawns will come another screamer. So unless you're intentionally trying to call more zombies to yourself for the purpose of leveling up and just killing a whole bunch of things, you want to try to avoid running a whole bunch of things at one time. Running 2 or 3 things for a short amount of time, not a big issue. Running several things for a long amount of time, you're going to create a big heat map. Try to stay away from that. If you do create a big heat map for the purpose of being a builder like I am, just make sure you build it in a space that you can run to and from and not stay in the area for too long. On my main map, my forge room is under the water, so zombies will still spawn and they'll go to it, but I put it on ground level, and that is, to me, the most secure place, because even if a screamer does spawn all the way up, they can't get to it still. And since they're underwater, they never see me because I can run all over the place and they have no idea I'm up there. So that's just kind of how I have it set up on that map, but on other maps, I put it just at ground level, which I would suggest. Now,